top-up time, and we've lost Glenn to the highway, so Gord's capably filling in for a Saturday morning to everybody. Gord, how does it look? How did it shape up after scratchings?
I don't know. I held a bet last night, but Mark, which was quite interesting, and that is somebody bet me that Glenn wouldn't go more than 110 k's an hour on the highway up to Gosford. And, I said he'll definitely be doing more than that.
Yeah. I think that's a no-brainer, that one.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have a few sort of interesting market moves to talk about, and obviously Gold Coast, which our Brisbane Mounting Yard Mail yard of Brisbane will be getting down to, is a meeting chock full of interest for Sydney siders, because we've got a lot of autumn carnival form heading up there. It's some horses that we've really previewed and reviewed on the Monday show with Paul Daly. There's a number of those, particularly, notably Zaki. So obviously it looks a meeting to get amongst it.
Looks a great card up there, Mark.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at Gosford, we have race 1, where Overpass is firm. It's into 290 fixed odds, which is quite firm. Interesting 2-year-old race, Gord. A really good race to get a sight on the track. And Waller has wound up with 3 runners, each of them obviously contenders, but yeah, look, this Bjorn horse looks an improver, but I suppose there will be differing opinions about the merit of the form in the Warwick Farm race, where he was obviously at home 10 days ago. And then we've got Anagan and Colino out of the the feature at day 1 of the championships, the 1100 metre race won by Paul L. So yeah, a good race to get sight on the track, good.
Yeah, except for the fact, Mark, I don't like to get too carried away with stamping track bias with 2-year-olds.
Okay.
But other than that, I think the market's making it pretty clear that there's 2 major chances.
All right, race 2 is the first of the 12. Or it's another 1200 metre race, obviously. But here we've got Blondo, which I think was forecast on the preview show yesterday. It's into 480 fixed. Quiet Ride is another one that's trimmed up into 650 fixed, and Henschel remains solid as favourite, shorter than $4 fixed. So I can see that a little bit of trading there at mid-4s on the Betfair page. It looks a competitive race, doesn't it? I mean, it's a race where if you've got an opinion, it'll be a betting race, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Ramstein is an overrated commodity, and I think 1, 2, and 4 are we're talking about two horses with Hong Kong form and the other with provincial Newcastle form. I found it a pretty easy race to bet into, Mark, and I'm keener today than I was yesterday.
All right, race 3 is the highway, which has been pretty much cut in half with the scratchings, and you must have been quite disappointed with one of them, because it looked a very suitable race for Denise, and I'm not sure what Brett Thompson's up to, but he must have other thoughts. Last Chance Dance, which is a horse that I featured yesterday, has had support into $10 fixed. There's no real trading on this race. It looks a bit of a dog's breakfast now, Gord.
Yeah, weird one, Marcus, and I was pretty keen to bet into the race yesterday, and now I've actually marked on Bella Star from Yarbar, so and I don't want to back either of them, so it'll be no bet race for me.
Yeah, and Mr. Wong, they're trying to get further forward from gate 1. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Well, the horse is mad, so they don't know either.
All right, the mile race and Naomi, as forecast yesterday, has come in for some support into 650 fixed. Perfect Radiance likewise into 850 fixed. Yet again, a very competitive race, wide open race. There's a feed from a Canterbury race a fortnight back, or 2.5 weeks back. Blesk and Tectonicus come out of that race. 15 Aria. It's got the plague now, Gord. It was going to cure cancer after its maiden win. Went into a Saturday race, very tight in the betting behind Zing. Went off for a break, came back for a win at Hawkesbury, and then found the diabolical rail at Canterbury, and now she's unwanted. But which
and Mark, 11s is unders. So
okay.
There you go.
All right, so you've really given up on her.
Yeah.
Race 5. The minor staying race on the card, 2100. Avion Fury is solid here after getting well back, albeit on the rails in a very slowly run race at Canterbury. He, of course, had 2 runs through the carnival in the against the proper stayers, and may find his form here in a more honestly run race, although not obviously. It depends on what Arabellini does on the 3-day backup. Parry Sound, an interesting runner here, Gord, with the apprentice on board. It seems all systems go, but I always prefer it when they go to the senior rider when it's time to fire.
Yeah, definitely interesting. It looks to me like the bookies want to lay this number 1, or a few of them do. So it'll get to a backable price, and I'll be laying the shit out of number 5. So Wicked, Mark. It got absolute PR to win last.
Yeah, birthday the other day. You've never seen J-Mac get across so easily. It was like they just said, "Here you go, James, have one." All right, the first of the features, and Enchanted Heart is the mover in the race. It's now $3 fixed. Signore Fox on the blow there. Easy Eddie is firm because it's going to control the race. And yeah, look at this. It's well, look, I'm Enchanted Heart's greatest fan, and I'm thinking I can't get it anywhere near $3. Wouldn't be surprised if it won, but just seems a bit too well found for me.
Strange race. Takeover Target would be very disappointed with this field, Mark.
The Gosford Cup, Polly Gray is firm at 340, and not much happening on the fair at this stage. There's no real action except that Stockman, which has got a real stench about it today. It seems, I think you mentioned the words kitchen sink yesterday, which, Joe certainly targeted his both this horse and Brutality in the Coast, I think. So Stockman's had a bit of trading there, just nearly 2,000 matched. Hush Rider has had some support, as well as its stablemate Entente. I've given up completely on both those horses, so I'd be surprised if they could turn it around, but someone thinks they can.
The funny thing is, Mark, normally I'd say with support for those horses, it'd be Gay Waterhouse controlling the pace, but obviously that's not the case with Blue Dock in the race. So seems a strange move to me.
No, and they're both very stale, those two horses, but I have worked hard to get them very long, and I can understand that they do have some numbers that warrant some support. The feature is this new race, the Coast, where it looks a wide open race. We have Arapaho as a firmer into $8 fixed. Should be a very good betting race. Obviously, the pattern will be well exposed by this stage. And there are a number of different form lines here, Gord, that warrant some attention. The horse that I didn't find here was All Saints Eve, who I couldn't make a case for despite coming back from the Group 1. Obviously, Nimmer Lee has been assisted, I think, by the scratching of Electric Girl, who promised it to be a pest. The only fly in the ointment I can see is if Arapaho was a little bit more urgent or ridden with more intent early, which I wouldn't think you'd need to be, really. Allow Nimmer Lee to get across and maybe tag would be the go on Arapaho, because there doesn't look to be a lot of go forward horses in this race.
I think it's a lovely setup for both Nimmer Lee and Arapaho. Just controlling the pace there, one leading, one outside lead. They look like the plays.
All right, and the banker for the day turns up in last. April Rain is most matchings on the day, nearly 8,000 matched. You can't get black odds fixed at the moment, and it looks like her race to lose, Gord.
Absolute Monty. I think 195 is still a good price.
All right, well, we're yet to see what Dave Dwyer will put up an hour before the first, so he'll be going up at 10:45 for Gosford and an hour before whatever time Newcastle starts. And ranters can get on to win 5,000 with Dave at his price, which you'll struggle to do anywhere else. So drop Dave an email to say you're a ranter and you'll be allowed on to win 5,000.
Well, let's have he goes up even money April Rain, stick 5,000 in and have the 5,000 on it. Beautiful. Job done.
Sounds good. All right. Well, Gord will be along with Paul Daly on Monday, along with Glenn, who'll be on hand at Gosford today to tell us all that happened locally. But Paul will crunch the numbers, and Gord, with his eye, will cast his eye over what's happened today at Gosford. So if you're not a ranter, that Monday's show is particularly juicy in terms of analysis. And moreover, you get 5 shows a week and lots of other content, access to the chat room, and you'd be mad not to try us because the first 2 weeks are free. So you don't even have to pay to check us out. Meanwhile, Gord, I'll let you get on to whatever other form you need to get onto today.
Yeah, well, I've got to finish both the Gold Coast and Newcastle, Mark, so it's a busy morning.
It is indeed. So look out for that. Keep your eye on those Sydney horses heading north today, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Thanks for watching.
There you go.